Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, there we go. Discord always takes a second. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm having a good day today so far.
Nice, nice. That's good.
Yeah.
How's the you had like a thing with Albert that you were gonna do? How'd that go?
Thing with Albert that I was gonna do? Oh, I was telling you. Yeah. No, it's just that like I don't know, like Verdugo's at like 6 o'clock or whatever, and like the beach is like an hour away, and there's like
Oh,
traffic, and it's like it's not really like practical. So like Gio would be my ride, like Noel, and he doesn't really feel like going, and it makes total sense because he's driving like 2 hours extra to stay at the beach for like an hour, and like say happy birthday to Albert, you know.
yeah,
So I
yeah. Oh,
feel it. It just didn't work out super well, but that's okay. I'm just gonna go to
yeah, for
Verdugo
sure.
tonight and have fun. But
That sounds cool.
okay, so what's going on here? What is the theme of this lesson?
So this is versus a puff player.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like usually I don't feel like I have too much of a problem in general in terms of like figuring out what I'm doing wrong lately in neutral, but there was like an interaction that kept coming up where like at a certain like mid range versus the puff player, I'd shoot the laser and he would double jump over the laser, and it felt to me like I didn't really have a concrete plan for what I should do afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I would like try to like dash back and then shoot another laser, but a lot of times I was too close to be able to dash back and get another laser out before he would fall on me with like a falling aerial.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. It was just like a lot of like me not really knowing how to kind of maneuver around him jumping over my lasers. It's yeah, I guess at like a certain like mid range, it feels like that spacing when I shoot the laser, it feels like it's kind of tricky to figure out what to do to get in on him and like threaten him. I
Mm-hmm.
had like some ideas, but I kind of wanted to hear what you think.
Okay. All right. Sick. We can get started on this right now.
Yeah, so this is the first game, by the way, and then I don't know if I won this one, but I know that I lost the last one, so I kind of linked both so we could look at them.
Okay. All right. Let's get started and see what we can find here. Is there any reason why you went for Nair in particular? This is like a very small thing, but.
I think I was thinking I was worried he might get caught out of the air.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather do Nair than Dare if I'm going to catch him out of the air at low percent.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense. I think the Nair in general here doesn't really make sense because like this is like he shields on reaction, you know, like a better like he shields on reaction quite a ways before you get there. Like this is like definitely like a completely like reactable approach, and I think like a better puff here would probably like wave dash back grab.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Actually, just really quick, I just wanted to
yeah,
mention
go for it, dude.
he definitely does that
Mm-hmm.
in the last game. So
Mm-hmm.
like he very much like adapts to me doing this, and I think that was the other thing I wanted to talk about is like me kind of aerialing off the platform. I think I do that a lot because I can't figure out what to do when I'm trying to get in on Puff if she's floating like at that certain height and I can't
Mm-hmm.
figure out how to get in on her. So yeah, I don't
So
know. I think that was
yeah,
kind of like a crutch.
in this exact position, I have actually been struggling a little bit also with figuring out exactly what to do. Not even just against Puff. Like, a lot of times when the game starts on Fountain and I'm in like these positions, I will like literally start the game by like just like going here and then like go to top plat and then try to get down on the right side because like the issue is that you can't dropping laser from this platform. So like
Yeah.
that like ruins everything. So I'll literally just start the game like my goal is to pretend like I'm gonna interact and then just get to the side where I can actually laser. And I do this
Yeah.
against
Okay.
pretty much all the characters right now because like this is some BS that you can't do anything with. Like your options are either be vulnerable lasering here or be vulnerable lasering here. Or do this dumb aerial. And like all those options are pretty bad.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Okay.
Yeah, so like in this particular, like I said, right now, this is just my current take on it. I just basically would do like this short hop, double jump here, chill for a second, and then try to either come down with like a laser, like later, like if like let's say he backs off here, come down with the laser, or just generally try to like get to this side plat. There might be something in the future where I do like I don't know, like I'll start the game with short hop laser here and then jump side B edge cancel just to get to the other side and then start playing neutral or something. But I haven't really like thought through everything yet. It's just something to keep in mind that like you being uncomfortable in this spot is not weird. It's really bizarre to be in this spot and just start the game with absolutely no way to like laser someone.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
But definitely don't do this.
Right.
I think doing the nair there was totally fine, but then like at the same time, you know, it's kind of like you could have just died or not. You couldn't. I guess you couldn't have died really because like you can't die off like instant rest, but you know it could be something like up throw and then tech chase, you know, up tech chase up throw rest or something like. So you just,
yeah,
it's just something to be careful of. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so there's definitely not so far. There's definitely not enough like lasering going on. Because like in like it like or like defensive type lasering. So like a big thing with Puff is like Puff is all set up. So like obviously like she's a character with very few actual like moves that she can kind of do in any situation, but they're just really strong. And so, like, a lot of her stuff on Falco is going to be, like, she'll full hop into, like, a specific position or, like, try to space her aerial drift in, like, a specific position so that she has, like, a good pressure on you. And basically, your job is to use your lasers so that every time she gets a good setup, the laser ruins the setup, and then you just continue playing normal neutral. So, like, say there's, like, a spot like this is, like... So yeah, I don't really like this down air like threat you do here either. Like this one, like this jump in, it doesn't really like you haven't let's see. It's kind of like Captain Falcon, you know, where like he keeps trying to make these plans with like nair and stuff and like jumping and dashing, and you just kind of use the laser to be like, oh, your plan didn't work. Oh, your plan didn't work. Oh, your plan didn't work. And then, like, he can't really get any of his stuff started, and then that's when you kind of hit him. And this matchup is really similar to that. And so, like, attacking out of this position where, like, there's just not, like a reason. Like, okay, so Puff is on the ground, and so this is good because you, like, this is, I think, what you were responding to, is, like, Puff being on the ground, and you're like, oh, sick, this is really good. But, like, one level past that is Puff also knows this is bad for her, and so she has, like, huge motivation to get off the ground, specifically to full hop. And so a better counter to situations like this is high laser to beat the full hop, and then the position resets to this same exact position, and then you kind of get in a spot where, like, Puff, I might be coming in right now, but every time you try to get away, I prevent you from leaving, and then I also might be coming in after that. And it just gives you, like, a way stronger mix-up than just jumping in here. So if you had done, like, a high laser right here, it beats literally anything Puff does. Like, she can't wave dash grab you from this distance, as far as I know. Maybe some box user could or something, I don't know, but like she can't like wave dash grab you really from this spot, and she can't like short hop into you and back air, and she can't full hop to get away. So she has really no options if you high laser out of this position. So like if you had high lasered here, this would have hit her, and then she would have gotten stuck and landed like right here, you know? Or like been just generally stuck in the corner, and then so like let's say you did like a high laser and then you did like dash into here and then turned around, and now she's like kind of in the corner and she's kind of struggling. She can't come in from above you because you can like you're underneath the platform and you have kind of like the threat of AC bear and up tilt and all that kind of stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I think I don't condone myself doing this down air. I think this was like I myself would not do this down air if I was watching.
For sure, no, for sure. I just kind of wanted to explain to you like the reasoning why you would do something else instead of the down air, and like why the high laser is better there. Because like the high laser is not gonna get you openings. all it does is it ruins Puff's positioning so that you get like a mix-up advantage.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Okay. And I do apply that versus like Falcon, so I can
yeah, exactly. Like
it's
just something to know to also apply against Puff. I would say it's like because Puff is like a lot slower vertically than Falcon and stuff like that. She has significantly like more setup required, and so by ruining her setup, it like ruins the way she moves and plays a lot more. Yeah, because you think about it, she's at full drift. Like she's facing you, she's full hopping, she's facing away from you, and she's full hopping, and she's full drifting with back air. And one laser shuts down the full hop, shuts down her drift, and makes her face you. So like that is like 3 wins for 1 high laser.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So the other thing, and I actually learned this from Drug Fox, and it helps so much, which is just like anytime Puff double jumps, it's like there's this like timer reset kind of. So like when Puff is falling, right, there's like a cone of drift that she can like drift in, right? Where like if she drifts full to the left or full to the right, there's like an amount of space that she can kind of cover that's sort of like this or whatever, you know? And
I was gonna say, is this because I've heard Drug Fox talk about Puff's double jump? Are you mentioning the thing about how if the more she double jumps, the smaller her double jump range becomes?
No. Oh, okay. That is like a point that does exist, but that is not the exact point I'm bringing up right now. So the idea of the cone thing is that like the higher up she is, the more horizontal range she can cover, but the longer it takes her to actually reach the ground. And so it's like it's hard to, I don't know. For me at one point when I didn't understand this character as well, this was like kind of disorienting for me. But basically like when she double jumps, the amount like she can't double jump and also pressure you at the same time. Like when she double jumps, it's like a big timing reset for her. Like so like in this position, it's kind of like she's here and she does this, and it feels like when she's drifting, she could kind of come down to like right here, right? So but she can come down there pretty quickly, like with the back air. But when she jumps, like she can't jump and also be like coming in at this angle at the same time. Like when she jumps, this is like before she can even fast fall. Like basically this is her getting to the ground as fast as possible after this double jump. Like he like fast falls the nair.
Right.
So it's like after this double jump, Puff has like massively committed. Like Puff cannot hurt you in any form ever. For like a long time. Like Puff cannot get down to the ground for this long anytime. So as soon as you see this double jump, you have complete control of the ground for like a good 1.5 seconds, like every time. Like every time. So as soon as she double jumps here, you just go, oh, okay. And you can just position to up tilt this nair or whatever. And then Puff has to deal with this option of like, do I go in with this nair and just get outranged by Falco? Or do I double jump again? In which case I completely reset my timer and I have to take forever to get back down to the ground again. And that's why Puff's favorite range is like wave landing off platforms or falling out of a full hop, because she has the ability to like from this distance she can reach the ground. Like she can start her move from here and then hit you while you're on the ground. But when she double jumps, there's like this huge amount of time. Even like this double jump into like this fair she does like right here. Like when Puff does this thing, there's just she's not coming down forever, you know? Like you have so much time here of like you're kind of like moving, but like it takes her a really long time to like actually get down here to the point where she can actually threaten you, you know?
Yeah, so basically, like, all her double jumps are just chances for me to, like, react to where she is and reset to a better position and maybe pick a good option in response to what she could do.
Exactly. So, like, you're kind of feeling pressured. Here she comes, and then she double jumps, and it's like a reset. It's like your opponent does, like, a wave dash back, like a big wave dash back or something. It kind of like big reset on like the neutral and the timing and everything. And so like a problem that a lot of people have against Puff is like she's like, here I come, I'm gonna totally back air your shield or whatever, and then she does the double jump and they like still perceive that they are being threatened. But as soon as she double jumps, it's like a big reset, and you can just literally, as soon, like when you see the double jump, your brain should just start neutral over. Like throw out any idea that you thought she was about to threaten you, and think about like, okay, what is the next neutral situation gonna be, and how do I win that?
Oh, okay. That's actually a really good idea to keep in my head.
Dude,
I'll remember that.
when I was, it was when Sammy was my coach at the Smash Summit 9, and I hadn't thought about that concept, and he kind of, I think I'm actually explaining it in a way that's like I've processed it a little bit more so I can explain it more in general, but he kind of was giving me this idea of like the double jump takes forever, and when it hit, I was just like, oh. Like
Yeah.
it is a really big shift of like, wait a minute, she's just a much worse character in that situation than your brain wants to assume with intuitive knowledge of the character.
Yeah, for sure. I think that like is something I have not even thought about before. So that's I'm gonna for sure keep that in mind.
Okay, yeah, so that's why this is like a really good example of like why you wouldn't ever do this nair here. Because like this is the type of nair, you know, if Falcon double jumped, he might be fast falling here and you could nair him. But when Puff does it, this nair has no chance of hitting because she's guaranteed to be up in the air for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
So then there's something like this approaching laser, and this approaching laser is just a little bit too aggressive because it gets hit by this back air. This, like, if approaching laser out of the corner here with the high laser is basically correct as long as you got, like, look at all these frames before you start your laser right here. If you, like, the nice thing about high laser is high laser comes out faster than low laser, right? Because like you get to start your laser quicker out of the short hop. So like right here when you do dash short hop, you should be trying to do the fastest laser you possibly can. Because
there's no reason to shoot a low laser, huh? In this spot.
There's just not at all. Yeah. All it does is give her something to jump over, whereas like so basically the feeling you want in this matchup, there are sort of like 3 zones or whatever, and it's like zone 1 is that Puff is on the ground, and when she's on the ground, you know you have a big like aerial like mix-up type advantage on her, and she knows that too, so she doesn't really want to be on the ground. Like she gets kind of stuffed by, you know, even like one low laser, if it hits her on the ground, she suddenly gets like mixed on, you know? So she doesn't want to be there, so she wants to be up in the air by specifically full hopping. Like, full hop is all she can do there to get out. Short hop, she'll just get hit and fall. So she's like, full hop, I gotta get out of the way. And your idea for the lasers is that the lasers are like a semi-consistent ceiling above Puff. That anytime she tries to full hop to get out of this grounded zone, which is strong for you, she just encounters a ceiling laser and is forced to like fall, or alternatively double jump, giving you a lot of, you know, potential advantages, or at the very worst for you, it's even, you know?
Right.
So the idea is like if she's stuck here, and then there's a big ceiling of lasers here, so she can't get out. And then eventually, by keeping her stuck in this zone, those dares and the type of pressure you want and you know you have on grounded Puff become like super valid because she's stuck here. Whereas like normally, like we saw earlier, if she's just on the ground and you go in with an aerial, she's just gonna full hop out of the way every time. Like that is her answer. But if she can't full hop out of the way and she starts second guessing her full hops because of the high laser, then she does actually get stuck on the ground, and these mix-ups actually work. And the third zone is obviously if she gets too high up, and then all you're doing is trying to prevent her from directly approaching you while getting like under her or getting to a position, and eventually she comes down, and then you lock her to the ground again.
Yeah, and I guess for the third position, if she is too high, and not on like a platform, she's just like floating in the air, then like every time I see her, like if I whiff an up tilt trying to catch her coming down, but she like double jumps to avoid it, that's still a potential chance for me to like reset again.
Yeah,
right?
all it is that now she has slightly less resources. She has 1 less double jump, and her situation
Yeah.
has not improved in any way.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Which
that
is
makes
why this matchup is kind of brutal. Like, because Falco super beats her up on the ground, and he invalidates her aerial approaches. So it's like, well, what's she gonna do? Like, she can't hit him when she's in the air, and she can't fight him when she's on the ground.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So yeah, this laser, as long as this is not a bad laser, as long as I would say maybe don't approach so hard with it, because she could always wave dash in like up tilt or grab. Like, I would say, maybe go to here rather than like the full distance.
Yeah.
But regardless, if this was an instant laser, you get a free like, shine up tilt or shine, or sorry, laser up tilt or laser like laser shine up air, or like laser grab fair, like up throw fair, or anything like that, you would literally
definitely.
just get like a combo out of this laser if it hit. So now she's here and she gets this. This is the scariest position overall in the matchup, which is that like you're in a position where your laser can't protect you, and like Puff is in her ideal drift range, And so, depending on the percent, there's ways you can maybe like trade an up tilt here or whatever. Usually, the best option here is crouch. Crouch is really strong here against Puff because it'll completely beat her like trying to back air your jump, which is like they love to like back air and fair this jump here, and they also like to like try to catch like jump, and like they try to sneak in and they try to up air and all kinds of stuff. So crouching is really good, and then like shielding is not bad. Like if you have to shield it or whatever, Puff has some of the weakest like shield pressure out of the top tiers, probably the weakest. So shielding is not that bad, and crouching is like kind of broken. So
Okay, so
yeah.
sorry, I was just gonna say. So I've talked to, I think it was Squid about that, and he was mentioning that he also thinks crouch is really good versus Puff at low percent. That like it's like he feels like you can just crouch instead of shield for the most part.
Okay, so
But
one more thing, it's actually broken at like pretty much all percents, but still, go for it.
yeah, yeah, I think specifically like my worry is sometimes when I crouch, and I get clipped by Puff back airing anyway, it doesn't feel super good to crouch and then tank the back air and not be able to even get anything out of it. So I don't know if like the best, like what is like the ideal scenario if Puff spaces a back air and hits you while you're crouching? Like, do you just dash back out of the crouch and
Yeah, you
space
just
it?
you probably you basically have a mix up there, and you can leave and laser, or you can go for like like a pressure, like a short hop type pressure, like you can like space like a down air, like retreating down air, or like a late back air, like a backflip type thing, like
Oh, oh wait,
basic.
I think I just.
Huh?
Sorry, I was gonna say. I think I. So, are you saying that the crouch is good because even at high percent, Puff can't send Falco off stage if he's crouching with back air?
Yeah, if you're at like 140% and you crouch and puff back airs, you'll just like slide off and side beat a ledge.
Oh,
Like
that's genius.
it
Oh my
literally
God,
like
that's
her
genius.
like fair and bear literally like don't work. You can
Yeah.
alms attack them, or you can literally just like slide off side beat to edge, and so like it just doesn't work. Like she can't do anything.
Oh my God, that's so smart. Okay, I'm
and
stealing that.
and so the reason why it's okay that you crouch and she spaces a back air, and then you don't get anything out of it, like think about, because you're thinking about it of like, man, she can hit me in this position and I can't hit her. That's bad. But if you think about it, this is her best position in like the whole matchup. And so if out of her best position in the entire matchup, all she gets is a bear on your crouch, and she has to space it, and you still might get a punish on her, like that's pretty
Right.
bad. Like that's really rough. And
Yeah. So, oh, go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, okay, so I guess what I was originally thinking was why is it that crouch is better than shield if like shield is like if both crouch and shield are like necessarily putting you in a disadvantaged state um afterwards, or like not a disadvantaged state but like in a state where you're not able to really engage in a scramble that's like super favorable for you, but
Mm-hmm.
shield at least prevents you from taking damage. It was my thought. But then now that I'm thinking about it, I guess it's more valuable to be able to still retain access to your grounded options by being in crouch instead of shielding. Like that's probably why crouch is better if
Yeah,
at the low
so
percent.
one nice thing about the crouch is that like let's say you crouch and she thinks that you're going to short hop laser or something here, so she goes for a bear. She'll just go above your head and then you actually do get like a punish. Whereas like
Oh, okay.
so if you
Yeah.
shield here and she does a bear right here, like let's say she bears and then she drifts away, you're not going to get anything. But if you crouch and she does it, you'll be able to just like dash instant bear and hit her or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, crouch also makes your hurt box smaller. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
point.
It makes you like way harder for her to hit. Her moves don't work. Like, and this is her
Yeah.
strongest position. It's like it's
Oh,
really
Jesus.
really rough for
Wow. Okay.
her.
Wow, that's convincing. All right, you convinced me. That's pretty good.
And also, like, Puff has a really hard time killing Falco if she gets damage on him. And so I have a lesson with Toussaint that you should probably watch, which is the Puff's perspective on this matchup. And it's us, like, basically talking for an hour how, like, the only thing Puff can really consistently do against Falco is, like, hunt for, like, very specific setup kills. Like, she has to, like, basically Puff's goal in the matchup is she has like you know ammo, like she has like 6 chances to look for like a rest slash like edge guard gimp, you know, and like within those 6 chances she's going to do some form of like aggressive gamble to try to get in on Falco, and you know when she fails she'll take a little bit of damage, and if she succeeds she'll kill Falco, but she has like a very low chance of succeeding. So from the Puff's end, this matchup is very like you're just kind of looking and waiting and then being like, okay, I'm kind of going to put my money on this spot and I think that I have a good chance of maybe getting like the kill on Falco. So that's like Puff's whole perspective. And like when she gets you to like 80, 90, Puff can't kill Falco. Falco is actually an unkillable monster as soon as Puff hits him with too much damage. So Puff kind of has like the Martharitis, like Pufferitis, whatever you want to call it, where like when Falco is at like 20 or 30, Puff is just this killing machine because, you know, up air rest, up tilt rest, up air, back air, back air. But once you get to like 70, her up air like hits you too far away to combo. Like you're crouching her back airs and going to edge. Her throws like if she like forward throws you, you probably go just like far away, and then, you know, like unless she's like if she's forward throwing you from like here or something, or down throw, like she's not gonna get like a tech chase. If she up throws, you might get too far away, you know. Like her kills, they a lot of her options just aren't that good once you sort of go up past a certain percent, and like especially once it hits like 80. Like once you're at 80, you're basically in that zone, you know what I mean? Like when you're against Marth and you hit like 130 and you're like, oh, here we go. You know, like he like
Yeah, yeah,
nothing
yeah.
works. Puff has that too against Falco. And so like crouching and taking some like back air damage or whatever, it like doesn't hurt you in any way because she doesn't kill Falco off damage. In fact, she struggles to kill Falco more the more damage he takes. So when she
Okay.
hits you with this back air, so the thing is, let's say you're at 0 and she hits you with the back air, she's happy because she wants you to get like a little bit of percent. But let's say you're at like 30 or 25 and you CC it, that kind of doesn't feel very good for Puff because she almost is like losing combo potential every time she hits you.
Right. There's like a sweet spot window that she wants,
Uh
and if I'm
huh.
like too low or too high, she's fucked. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I would recommend you watch my lesson with Toussaint from the Puff end, and I think it would be pretty eye-opening for you about like kind of the struggle that Puff has to go through and kind of like her perspective on the matchup.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
I like how it's been half an hour and we have 9 seconds.
Yeah.
but but okay, so yeah, you shield this and notice that like you're fine, right? Like yeah,
Right,
you're
right.
fine, and like that was her best spot. Like she basically like so like this, she doesn't really have anything. She gets this bear, and this bear was the only reason she even got in this spot. You know, normally that you would hit her with the high laser and she would have never gotten this. But she ends up in her best spot, and you just shield, and you're totally fine, and it's all good. And you just hit her. You start hitting her. Okay, now she's in the corner. Cornered Puff is really bad. Like she's just kind of bad. Mostly because like
Right.
wave dash back grab, that stuff doesn't work. If she jumps backwards, now she's off stage and you get to like hold the stage. I'm sure you've seen like the old PPMD videos with where he just like literally holds center for like 5 minutes straight, and HBox keeps coming back, and he just holds him off. Laser, 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 laser. HBox tries to come back, backer. Laser, 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 backer. You
Yeah.
know, like that
Yep,
thing
yep.
works. So when you're in this position here, I don't know if this was an accident or like okay, one sec. Okay, I don't know if this is an accident or what. Like, what was up with this full hop or this double jump here? You like short hop,
Wait.
double
You
jump to platform.
Yeah, let me just see it one more time.
That.
Um, I think I okay, so this might be because like I don't know if I mentioned this, but um or I think maybe I linked you a clip of like a fountain in the interaction that happened between me and a sheik, and I was like talking about how it felt like it's kind of hard to do something when there's like the platform at that awkward height. I feel like in my head in this spot, I don't feel comfortable corner pressuring Puff because the platform keeps interfering with my ability to short hop. Uh, so
What?
I try to go to full hop and like scout her and like kind of basically cut off her ability to full hop out of the corner. But that's kind of all I have in terms of my ideas for what to do when the platform is at this height.
Okay, that's interesting to me. So basically, this platform is not hurting you at all because you are in center, and from this point to the right, there's no platform. Like the position you're in, the platform isn't affecting you at all.
Yeah, I guess I'm just like I want to be able to be a little bit closer to her when I'm corner pressuring her, but I can't get a little bit closer. I have to stay like kind of far.
Okay, yeah. So basically, the position you're in here is literally perfect, and so you have to adjust your mentality a little bit on that. Is like, all right, tell me what Puff can do here that would be strong for her.
Yeah, I
come
don't
up,
think she
come
can
up
do
with
anything.
one thing
Yeah,
here that is
yeah,
even
she can't.
somewhat not losing for Puff. Anything.
Yeah, yeah, she can't do anything like good for sure.
What can she do? Think of it. Anything. What option are you
I
afraid
mean,
of? Anything.
I think I'm not afraid of anything more so. It's more that like I don't know how to get a meaningful hit out of this, which is like maybe me being a little bit greedy. Like I'm like so like I'm so kind of like desperate to get a strong, powerful hit out of this situation
Mm-hmm.
instead of like being willing to let Puff kind of hang herself. So I think maybe that's where it's coming from.
That makes sense because like so this matchup is more about holding strong positions than capitalizing on them. And that is like pretty much like a solid rule to like hold on to is that like most of the time you're not going to be able to like get an opening. You sort of apply like a very passive pressure to Puff, and if she tries to do anything to you, she opens herself up to greater like potential punishment. And so
Yeah,
when you're in a position like this, like you have to think of it from like the opponent's perspective. Like is like Puff isn't comfortable just sitting here forever because she'll just be getting lasered and you're dash dancing. Eventually her shield will get smaller and she'll have to go off stage. Like she is the one being pressured to do something in this position, not you. And so if you just sit here and if you just shoot high lasers above this platform, she's completely locked in. She can't go anywhere. And even if this platform wasn't here, the situation would be the same. This is the range you want to be at because her wave dash burst options don't exist here. Her wave
Right.
dash is like wave dash up tilt, and you're like a little bit outside of it, and you would just back air her and stuff like that. So doing this wall short hop is totally fine, and then you could just do something like short hop, and then you see as she's shielding, and do turnaround laser, short hop, high laser, short hop, high laser, turn around, like act like you're gonna back air again, laser, short hop, high laser. You know, like she's completely trapped here basically. So you don't need to be feeling pressure here. Like literally in some sort of weird ideal world, you would just lock her here until the platform goes away.
Right. Right. Okay.
So like
It's kind of
basically
like versus Peach.
yeah, it is a lot like Peach. The floaties are really bad in the corner a lot of times. And
Right.
so basically this is just like a position of strength. You have center. Don't even think about like platforms here really, because you're like better at using platforms as Falco than Puff is. And so like as long as you're shooting these high lasers and she can't full hop and get out of the way, even if she does get away with a full hop, now you're sitting under the platform with your up tilt and back air, and she is in a bad position anyway, you know? And you're able to slowly threaten these back airs, make her shield smaller, all this, you know, threaten maybe like an up throw, stuff like that. You have all kinds of threats if you just maintain this position, but as soon as you leave, so like I just want you to look at this from the Puff's perspective. So just pretend you're the Puff, okay? And you're here, and you're like, ugh, you know? Like, just look like right here, right before she gets into this position. So it's like right here, she does this fair, and then Falco's here, and you slide off, and he does the short hop, and you're like, well, I don't want to get hit by this back air, right? So I have to kind of chill here. And then you're like, oh, what do I do? And then as soon as Falco leaves, in my mind as Puff, I'm like, oh, thank goodness. Like, I'm going to instantly, like, wave dash forward and take this space. But I don't know what this person does.
Right.
Okay, so he full hops in here, and this is like, now, this position, this isn't favored for you. This is, like, kind of bad, because you need to get back down.
Right.
And so it's like there was no reason to give the Puff any kind of anything here.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And then, so this up tilt is fine. There are a lot of positions like this where I favor short hop instant back air. Like right here. I would like the short hop bear a lot more here than the up tilt, because it allows you more mobility. You can do like back air drift this way, back air drift this way, back air in place. You can do back air and then fast fall out of it to end it a little quicker, you know. Whereas the up tilt is like very static, and you know, it's not like bad or anything. I just think that the back air in a lot of spots can be better.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I agree.
So okay, so now you're in this spot, and like, so what's happening here? So let's see. Okay, so you dodged this. So remember, in this spot, this is now your situation to react to, that Puff has whiffed this back air, and you are at this super friendly, familiar spacing. So remember, if you shoot a laser right at this height, Puff can't do anything. She can't back air you, she can't full hop. So if she can't back air you, and she can't full hop, and she can't wave dash and hit you, this is a completely safe laser under any circumstances to do. There is no bad situation that can possibly happen to you in the entire game if you shoot this laser.
Right.
So there's just no reason not to shoot it. And so going for this type of thing, and then this, all this is doing is like playing suboptimal positions. Because now you're doing this, and she's hitting you again, and now you're jumping. And the thing is, jumping in here was fine. You punished the up smash. But now you're kind of like, I don't know, you're kind of in this spot where you're just kind of like, my dare versus your bear, like, let's do it, you know, like, yeah, Falco does kind of win that, you know, but like, he can win a lot harder if, you know, you're playing the anti-Puff plan game. So just think about that. Just think, Puff needs to set up. Puff needs setups. And all I'm going to do is just keep ruining her setups. And when she doesn't have setups, she's like a mid-tier character. And eventually I'll beat the mid-tier character with my aerials and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, oh yeah, so this is like another situation right here. Right here. She doesn't have any way to threaten you, so high laser needs to happen.
Yep, for sure.
And the high laser would have hit her out of this. She would have been in this awkward spot where she either has to double jump. You might even, when she double jumps, sometimes you can get like a full hop bear. Like let's say she does like a double jump back air here to get the drift, because they want to do the air. You know about the aerial thing, right? Like the instant aerial thing, or the instant aerial drift. where like
it like contort it. I know that if Puff like does a back air as she double jumps, it shrinks her hurt box. I'm not
it's
sure what would.
she needs to do an aerial to get instant maximum aerial drift out of a double jump, or else she does that weird thing where she like kind of goes like puff, and then she has to like gain her momentum back.
Okay, okay.
So like she has big motivation when she's double jumping to do an instant aerial, and because Falco has such a good full hop, like you can get her in these nice spots where like you do like high laser and it catches this jump, and then she's in that awkward spot where like now your down air is terrifying, and if she decides to double jump instant aerial, you might just react to it and do a full hop back air or a down air. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah,
she just gets put in a horrible spot where she's like, this does not put her in a horrible spot.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, the same pattern basically like repeats here, it looks like, whereas like, so once you shielded, once you now have this position, your goal should be don't let Puff full hop, don't let her full hop or short hop. This back air doesn't work if you shoot lasers.
Right.
Like
yeah.
the back air will literally never work. Like it does not function. Her best option a lot of times against Falco is she'll do like a high drift in, and then when you like backwards, and then you catch her with the laser, and then she'll do like an instant like fair. Hbox likes that. Where he'll try to come down with a bear on your head, you hit the laser, and he'll just instantly like fast fall fair. But you can easily just dash back, dash in, downer that. Kind of like when Marth mashes fair at a laser, but like way worse.
Right, right.
So it's kind of like the same thing, but she doesn't really have a lot of good options there. Yeah, so it's kind of like you know, it's the same thing again here. Is like you want this grounded mix up with Puff, and like sometimes you can fight it out. Like if you look and the Puff is just playing really grounded over and over, go for it. Just mess her up because Falco obviously wins that battle, you know. But if you're in a spot like this, a lot of times there's nothing wrong with just, you know. Okay, not maybe this, because you definitely could have back-aired this. But, like, assuming you don't back-air this or whatever, you just have to go back to the plan. The plan of ruining her plans.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so this is good. Okay, yeah, these are always awkward positions. Like this, when she kind of goes up above you like this. A general theme, and this is something I say against Peach too, is just don't... Do your best to allow, or sorry, do your best to make sure that Puff can never get more centralized than you. It's not necessarily about holding the exact center. It's just that like when she is over here, like this, you would rather, like, you know, put a hitbox here so that she has to kind of go back to this position and you keep her in the corner, then end up in this spot where she, like, you want to keep her on one side of you, you know, as best as you can.
Yep.
It's not really good when she goes, like, straight above you. When you're in a spot like this, when she goes straight above you, the up tilt is strong, and then also dash dance back air is really strong. Like, dash dance and then dash back air. Because a lot of times if she's chasing you, it'll hit her. And if she's running from you, it'll sometimes also hit her. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, so you do the back air here, and this works. And then, okay, so now you're here. And yeah, this spot too. This is like lockdown time. When she hits the ground here. So you get her to the ground, bam, lockdown time. She does not get to leave the ground ever. It's just high laser, dash dance, high laser, dash dance, high laser, dash dance, down air, you know? Or like, yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Oh. Really good laser forward smash. And so yeah, even though this laser wasn't like really high enough that I would expect, it kind of still worked, where like she jumped into it and then she just gets hit, and this is why like the laser lockdown is so good. Actually, such a good like kill find there. That was really good.
Thanks.
Okay, so now you're here, and yeah, this is the nightmare of playing Puff. Is you're like, yeah, that's right, like Falco finally feels on the back foot. After all of my effort, I finally got him. Ha ha ha. And he's just like, I don't wanna. And then you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Now Falco rolled. And you're like, well, it's okay, rolling doesn't, you're like, dun dun, dun dun, this is the exact range that Falco can lock me down on the ground with a flurry of high lasers, you know? Like, and after, like,
Yeah.
Puff worked so hard to get in there and finally got her thing, and now you rolled once, and now she's in the laser lockdown territory, where if you lasered here, this would lock her down, and then you have instant, like, approaching mix-ups or more lasers and stuff like that.
Right, right.
Nice. You might have been able to shine her off the top here. I don't know on Fountain. But, like, right there, you might have been able to double jump shine her. I think it would have killed, to be honest, but not a big deal.
Yeah.
Just anytime you get Puff, anytime you do, like, a shine here on Puff, like, on pretty much any stage, if you get a shine at, like, anything above, you know, like 40 or 50 or something on a side platform like this, you should always be thinking about shining her off the top or up airing her off the top, because that's how you get a lot of your early kills. Like, the shine off platform is like it's like, obviously you're not going to get it a lot, but when you do, it's like your like early kill alarm should go off. It's kind of like when you like back throw Fox or something. You get that little like alarm, like, wait a minute, I could get like a really early kill, like he can't tech my down airs and all this kind of stuff, you know? It's the same thing against Puff. Like, when you hit this shine, your like early kill alarm should definitely be going off, that like, wait a minute, I might be able to kill Puff at 70 or 80.
Yeah, I think I jumped with forward momentum after getting the shine because I thought she was going to DI more in front of me than she did.
Yeah, but that's actually not a problem. You actually still could have gotten it here. Right here. Bam, bam. You jump. You could have... So, you messed up this a little bit. I think it was actually just you reacting a little late to it. Because the first jump isn't the problem. Like, right here, where you jump forward, you could have definitely been able to drift back enough so that your backwards double jump would have gotten her, in my opinion. Or at least maybe an up air. So I'm just saying, keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. It's not a huge deal here. Oh, no, please don't do that.
Yeah.
Because it's like the reason why this is such a strong position for you, and I know it's tempting because Puff is like out here, but the problem is that like when Puff is out here, this is her domain. This is the air. You're literally like, look at the background. You're literally in outer space. Like, you don't want to fight Puff out in outer space. She has all these jumps and everything here. So like going out for this is like, if you wanted to go for something like this, it should definitely be like some form of like a wall. You know, like maybe full hop like this, like backflip this way, and then do like double jump back air and retreat back to the stage or whatever. But going out like this is like, dude, it would have been so funny if this Puff just jump rested this at 0 and you died off the side. That would have been the funniest thing in history. But like, yeah, this is really, really bad, and obviously I don't really even need to tell you how bad that is.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I like that empty hop into grab a lot. You were kind of in an awkward spot with the side plat, so I get it. This is just like, here's the problem, is this is like one of those things where it's like they tell you 2 + 2, and every time you say 5, they hand you like $50. and so it's like we all know this back air is horrible. Everyone knows this back air is horrible, and like it's so hard to resist going for, because every Puff on the planet is not good enough to get out of the way, and they'll like dash back or something and get back aired and DI badly and die. But like at the same time, this is a really easy way to go down 3 stocks to 1, because if you were at 0, maybe I can kind of see it, but you're at rest kill percent. 22 is like her ideal Falco destroying percent, pretty much. And so like, right, this is not a good back air, even though I feel like the odds of this killing this guy are like 10 to 1. Because like every dumb Puff in the world somehow gets hit here, but they shouldn't. There's no... Oh, he didn't get hit. Okay. They shouldn't get hit. There's no reason to get hit. I do this back here all the time too, and I'm always beating myself up for it. You already like used your double jump and everything. Like, if this was against any... Like, imagine doing this against Marth, you know? And it's it's like Puff can do the same thing. It's just maybe the spacing is like a little bit tighter. I would say that like if you're gonna do this, like, I don't recommend this back air, right? But if you are going to do this back air, you need to make sure that you drift far enough so that Puff can't wave dash back into the corner and grab you. If that's what you're afraid of. But yeah, basically you deserve to die here, and just don't do that. There's no reason at all not to just set up using that, like the zoning and like the high laser, because that gives you like a massively advantageous mix-up. You know, there's just no reason not to set up like that every time, or be getting kind of desperate for the kill. This is okay. So this is like a pretty common situation that I've noticed right here. When you dash back, you can actually backflip back air and kill out of this.
Oh yes, yeah.
And like, it's just something to keep in mind, because this situation actually comes up a lot, where Falco is in this spot, and this spot is, so remember we were talking about that perfect range before, where she can't get you, and you have the full, like the high laser, right? This range is slightly too close, and you're not really in a position where you have like a good aerial on her. So this dash back is really common, and as soon as you see this approaching aerial, just instant backflip back air and she dies. It's just it's like one of the significant reactions in this matchup. It's not even necessarily always, like, they're not even going to give it to you all this much at kill percent, but they will give this to you a lot. Let's say if these positions were swapped and Puff was here and you were dashing away and she was trying to full hop fair catch you. It's just really important to make sure you hit these, because this is like kind of like an opening that will happen a lot to backflip back or that. Ooh, just these vertical ones are scaring me. So, like, notice that, like, look at her movement during this whole thing. Completely unimpeded. Full hop fair, short hop back air, full hop fade back, short hop back air. And it's like, none of those moves actually work against Falco if you're shooting lasers. Like, if you're shooting lasers, what this felt like for Puff is maybe, no, maybe, no, maybe, no. And she's just stuck here. And none of those movement options worked at all, because they all involve a jump. And all of them would have just gotten eaten, and she'd be in a horrible spot.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay, so this is just like these high lasers, like, they kind of work, they get a little bit of damage. They're not super good. Like, literally, like, they're okay, so like right here. So first of all, these aren't very good because she's, I don't know, she's like right here. Like, I don't know why you would even do these lasers. The thing is, I know the temptation of doing these lasers, and I've done them on occasion. I just don't think they really are that good. Like, yeah, okay, you got 3 damage, but you're in the same corner spot you were before, you know?
Yeah.
And like, you had a chance to die. So then, like, when you're here and you see Puff went past her like aerial drifty zone, and now she's below high laser height. That should trigger you to just be like, high laser, high laser, high laser, high laser. Like, she can't do anything. So that would have gotten you out of this position. Like, a high laser onto the platform and then running off here or something would have definitely gotten you out of this bad position. And then when you're in this position, there's just no reason to be approaching lasering when she's drifting like this, you know? You can put a laser here to stop her approach, and then just watch out for the instant, you know, drop fair or whatever. And if she double jumps, that's a free, like, roll to center or whatever, you know?
Right.
So it's just, and yeah, the side B from edge is a little cringe, but it's not that bad against her. You just have to, like, not make it obvious. Like right here, when you, like, it's just, there's just, like, you know, like, sometimes it's fine, but just ledge dash. I do the same. I do the same thing. I do this
mostly when I'm panicking. Yeah.
Same. It's really annoying. Just try to ledge dash, but I just thought I'd mention it. I have the same issue, so I can't talk.
Yeah.
Oh, and look, check this out. So Puff fares, but you shield and hold down. Your shield doesn't come out, and you just get this tech. This is 100%, and she fares you. Look at that. Nothing.
Yeah.
She got nothing at all. 0.
That's right.
She got no advantage in any form. And she's like, this is your big, this is her big opening. Yeah, she could have gotten more, you know. Of the best Puff in the world probably would have killed you out of this somehow. Probably rest or something. But, like, the fact that Puff gets this fair, and it's like, oh no, Puff faired me at 100 damage. Okay. I'm fine. Like, it's literally not a problem at all. I'm totally okay in every way.
Right.
And right here, look at all these full hops she's getting away with. Full hop. Full hop, full hop, full hop. Oh! And this was one of those situations we talked about. So remember, none of these full hops should be valid, right? Because they're all getting lasered to death. So none of these full hops should even work. Then this situation happens where you do the high laser and Puff. Oh, not this one. You do the high laser and Puff gets hit with the laser, and she does the take laser fair. So this is the only aggro option you have to watch out for out of it. Is like right here. This was a bad take laser fair anyway, because you were too far away. But you just have to kind of be watching for Puff of like, okay, she's either going to, from right here, go back to her spot, in which case it's high laser time again, you know? Or she goes a double jump, in which case she's resetting, which is good for me. Or she's going to fair drift in which case you can punish it with dash dance down air. So like right here, you dash back, and so you notice that she does not fall back to the ground and she doesn't double jump. This leaves her open because she's for sure going to go for this fair, and you can just hit her out of this. And so, like, moving back to this distance doesn't make any sense, because Puff had no option that could ever reach here. Like, when you hit her with this laser, her cone limit is right here. So, the farthest you need to be is right in this spot. So you don't actually even need to, like, dash back here. But I think a quick little dash back, or dash in, dash back, dash in would be good. And just wait for the forward air, and then you could have easily punished this. Whereas, like, you're backing off to, like, a point, like, way beyond what Puff has capabilities to hit. Like, way farther than she can do, you know? So there's just no reason to back off this far at all. And then, so you get this laser. Good, you're doing the high laser pressure. And yeah, so the only thing you did wrong was you stopped.
Right.
Because the Puff misses, then you get laser, you go high laser, and look at her shield's getting smaller. What's wrong with this? High laser again. She would have just jumped into it. She has no other... Yeah. She can't do anything there. She doesn't have any other way to deal with what you're doing. She can't hit you. None of her options hit you. The only options that hit you from here involve jumping into the laser, and then that cancels her plan.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And like, yeah, look at this. Look at this. When you hit the high laser right here, let's see. Not this one. This one. So you hit Puff. Puff comes down to the ground. She goes, I gotta get out of here and get into a nice, good position. Look how long the laser sits over her head. It, like, basically missed her, and she can still jump into it. And now when she jumps into it, this is when you do another approaching high laser. And now you're here. The high laser is still hitting her. You're perfect range, and she has no options while getting corner pressure. And look at it.
Right.
Bam. Look at that. Yeah. All she can do is maybe double jump, drift back, or drift in fair. She doesn't have anything else. She knows she can't hit you, so she might as well go back to the ground. High laser again. What are you going to do? Oh, you're stuck in shield? Anyway, I'm going to high laser again. Oh, this wasn't high enough. If it was high enough, she would have jumped right into it and been literally reset in the same dumb situation. Double jump? Oh, sick. We have like a total reset here, you know? And so you get to play the reset. The thing you got to be careful of is this little timing thing. This is one of the last. We have like a couple minutes left. But this is like one of the small things. So when Puff is doing this thing where she's like doing this double jump thing, you have to be careful, like, so right here, when she jumps into this one, there's no reason to shoot another high laser immediately because she's not on the ground to full hop into it. So this is when you would probably want to, like, dash dance or look for, like, another closer laser. So what happens is, like, you shoot this laser, or sorry, I guess that was a different situation, but anyway, it'll happen again right here. So, okay, so she gets over the laser, and then she ends up in this spot where she's double jumping. You have to be careful not to, like, over laser this spot. So, like, lasering here is okay, but she's already used, like, 3 double jumps, so her double jumps are getting lower. And so you just have to be more careful with these lasers because they open you up more to, like, her approaches a little bit. But even here, you can still just do the retreating back air, like dash jump back air, and it would have beat it, or an up tilt. Oh, and you get out of the way anyway, and you're fine, for the most part. But okay, so we're at an hour. Wow, this was actually, I think, a really good lesson. I haven't explained this matchup this clearly before, I think. What are your thoughts?
No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think there's maybe I think I just like for sure have a lot of things that I need to work on and that are like related to my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like learning to be more patient would help me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think actually though, I might have some other things I want to ask you, but I'll probably have to ask you about those at another time.
Okay, I mean,
but for now,
you can
there's a lot to
you
work
can
on.
shoot me a question really quick if you want. Go for it. Or we can wait. That's fine.
It's all right.
Okay.
I gotta go back to work anyway, so it's fine.
Okay, cool. I think this was a fun lesson, man. I hope it helps, and let me know what happens because of it. All right, sick.
For sure.
I'll talk to you later then.
Thanks so much, man.
No problem.
Talk
Peace.
to you later.